I want to thank you all for coming this morning. My name is Carly Omlabar. I'm the Chief Development Officer for Lafayette Consolidated Government. We are on our, second to last day of Plan Lafayette Week, and I just want to thank everybody who's been participating. We've had a great week. The message that I've sent for all of our different events is just how much we think it's important for the comprehensive plan that we all adopted last summer to, for you all to have trust that we're working on it, we're implementing it. It's important for us to do events like this where we talk about how much we're working on and how many things that you can be involved in as we implement our comprehensive plan. So I just want to thank you all for being here this morning. You're going to hear a lot of really exciting things that are going on. We're going to learn from a really interesting other model of beautification, so that's really exciting, and we should be able to have a great discussion about some of the things, additional things we can do here in Lafayette. So without further comment, I'm going to introduce Ben Murthalat, the President and CEO of the Lafayette Convention and Visitors Commission. LCVC is our very gracious host and sponsor this morning that made this possible, so be sure to thank Ben, and Ben will give a little welcome.
Thank you, and thank you, Carly. Welcome to the Plan Lafayette Beautification Summit. It's great to see so many of you here this morning for this very important topic, and we're really excited about all the momentum that we have here in Lafayette Parish surrounding not only the comprehensive plan, but Project Front Yard, beautification, and public art, etc. So it's great that all of you guys are here. And we felt it was so important that we moved our monthly membership meeting, which normally takes place on the second Wednesday of the month, to this morning so that our members could learn a little bit more about what's going on in Lafayette Parish. So thanks again for being here. Now I'm going to turn it over to our city parish president. You've seen him 1,000 times on TV saying, let's show that things are really picking up, and they are, certainly. So our friend and our mayor, Joey Durrell.
I had a very good friend of mine tell me that. He said, if I see that commercial one more time, I'm going to start littering. We're very lucky today to have Tom Ethans with us from Winnipeg, Canada. It was one of those real coincidences where I think your son won something with Ducks Unlimited to come down here and kind of participate in an alligator hunt or something like that. And happened to be with Matt Steller, who is very passionate about littering and something he's been pushing us for years and years and years. And I got a text from Matt. He said, I got somebody I want you to meet. And 30, 45 minutes later, Tom was in our office and we met with him. And so was, and he said, I'd love to come back, especially in the dead of winter. What was it, 15 degrees below zero yesterday? So this is our winter. Let me just tell you a little bit about Tom. During his 17 years with Take Pride Winnipeg, Tom's creativity and drive helped shape the organization into the valued nonprofit that it is today. Tom and the Take Pride staff have developed 13 programs to deal with environmental issues, cleanliness, and civic pride. Take Pride Winnipeg has expanded its reach outside of the city of Winnipeg and may soon become Take Pride Manitoba, as it is already offering some programs across the province. Take Pride Winnipeg is one of 2 Canadian cities affiliated with Keep America Beautiful, and Tom served as the lead affiliate organizer for the 50th annual KAB conference in Washington, D.C. He has also won the Professional Leadership Award from Keep America Beautiful, his highest honor for affiliates. Tom's greatest accomplishment is that he's a single father who has raised his 2 children full-time since 1995. I'd say that pales everything else. Please welcome Tom to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, I didn't hear that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Just like I do it at schools. It was nice to come down here. It was being cold in Winnipeg. We had a nice break in January where it actually got to 0. But in late December, it was 40 below for about a week. We're used to that. But coming down here yesterday was so lovely, and I heard the news where they said, you're going to have to wear coats this morning because it's going to be cold. And I'm going, where? So I'm going to tell you about my organization, Take Pride Winnipeg. The organization started in 1990, and it was set up by the city of Winnipeg to try and help make our city a little better. The first 5 years of the organization, it was simply done as a spring litter cleanup campaign, and then it started to get into some graffiti removal, and some murals were painted on underpasses of some of our bridges. Then as things go, it sort of died out a little bit. It was losing some steam, and they decided to revamp the organization, and I came on as executive director in 1997. The first thing we did was we sat down and said, what do we want to do as an organization? And so we changed our mission statement, and Take Pride Winnipeg is now dedicated to inspiring community pride, raising public awareness, and promoting citizen responsibility in making Winnipeg clean and beautiful. And over the years, we have now expanded to say Winnipeg and Manitoba, the province, because we're now doing so much stuff outside the city. I want to go through to show you the programs that we're running now, to give you an indication of what you can do, and it's taken a number of years to get these programs up and running, and some of them are brand new programs that we started last year. But all these programs that we do can be utilized in your community, just as we have utilized them in ours. We believe in 4 pillars. The first pillar being cleanliness, beautification, education, and through those programs, we have several other programs which I'm going to go through. But we started with 3 programs, and now we're doing 13. And I'll go through those very quickly right now. And the 4th pillar is pride, because we want to instill pride in our citizens. We want them to feel that they have made a difference in making our community a better place in which to live. Going through our biggest program in terms of numbers, our Team Up to Clean Up, sponsored by a company called Tim Hortons, which is a company that is probably the biggest coffee donut place in Canada, and a lot of litter comes from them. So because of that, they say we want to give back to the community, so they're our title sponsor. What we do every spring, when the snow finally melts, and hopefully it'll melt early this year in April, that would be nice, we do a litter index. And this is a litter index that we got from Keep America Beautiful. And very simply, what we do is we drive up and down the roads of the city and determine on a basis of 1 to 4 how much litter is on the street. And I'll show you, this is a 1, not a lot of litter. 2 is getting a little worse, and 3 is getting worse, and then 4. And in every city that I've been to, there are a lot of 4s. And this community is no exception. Winnipeg is no exception. The great thing is when we go and drive all the roads of the city and we know where the litter is, it makes it easier for our volunteers to go out and pick up litter and find out where they can best use their abilities to make our city a better place. We have about 18 to 20,000 volunteers every spring to go out to pick up litter. A lot of them are school children, because we get them involved in making a difference. We start with an event at our arena where we have the students come. We get about 2,000 to 3,000 students come, and we have environmental booths set up so the kids can learn about environmental issues that are affecting the community. And then they go into the bowl of the arena, and we have entertainment for them and get them all pumped up to go out and help clean up the city. And it is a great event, and we'll do it this year in April. And the kids absolutely love it, the teachers love it, and it gives them an exciting reason to go out and help make a difference. We also ask not just schools, but we ask businesses, church groups, community groups, individuals to go out and clean up. And some businesses even go to big lengths to help clean up our city. This is a group of bank employees that went out and cleaned up litter for 3 hours and did a great job that day of cleaning up their area around where their banks were. One of the biggest problems in any city is cigarette litter. 28 to 30% of litter on the streets is cigarette butts. Cigarette butts do not decompose easily. They take about 5 to 7 years to decompose. Most of them end up going into our river system, our lakes, and hurting our wildlife. So we have now started putting up cigarette litter receptacles so that people use them. And they make a huge difference when people start using them. I was out for dinner last night, and as we were walking in, the number of cigarette butts that I saw was tremendously huge. And people don't think of cigarette butts as litter. They just toss them out their car window, they toss them on the sidewalk. They don't think of them as litter, but they are the worst litter that there is. And we need to get people to understand that. And we need people to see that they can make a difference by just not tossing the cigarette butts. We also work on graffiti. Graffiti is an issue in a lot of communities. I don't see a lot of graffiti here, but it is a problem. And so we hire students in the summertime to go out and take off graffiti. And they take a building like this and they turn it into that. We also get community groups and school groups to go out. This was a wall that had graffiti on it for about 6 months. And the people in the apartment building said, could you please help us? And so I got a group of students to come out. And in 2 hours, that wall was transformed. And so those little things make a big difference when you get people involved in trying to help the community look better. We had a recycle-a-thon, which is a great way to get people to get rid of the stuff that they can't get rid of. What we did was we asked electronics, product recycling, product care, and we asked them if they could set up stations so that people could bring back things like used oil, paint, and electronics. And we had over 1,000 cars show up. And some of the paint, the used oil, and over 50,000 pounds of electronics. And that day, a couple took 2 buses with a television set, transferred to get here, just to return their TV and put it away properly. And it's amazing how many people want to recycle, but they need to know how to do it. They need to know that there is places that you can take. I was talking to Matt last night, and he was talking about batteries, and he said, I've got a bunch of batteries I want to recycle. And there's got to be places in the community to recycle batteries. There's got to be places to recycle your hazardous waste. One of the things we work on is people's prescriptions. So many people throw their prescriptions down the toilet. We don't do that now. We now have the ability to take our prescription pills back to the pharmacies so they dispose of them properly. But it's amazing how many people have done that for years, and it goes right into our waterways. We also wanted to educate people about environmental issues, so we had a couple of sustainability days where we set up booths so that people could come and learn about all the things they could do to make a difference. And we had all these groups that put together presentations, and the key was the public came out to learn about how they could go out and do things to beautify our city and our province. We hire students in the summertime, and we hire 16 to 19-year-olds to go out and be our Green Wave students. They work with the different business improvement zones to go out and pick up litter, sweep streets, plant flowers, water flowers, and make the business improvement zones look good. They also do some special projects in parks, where we go to a playground and we rejuvenate the playground. We get the kids in the neighborhood to come out and put their handprints on the wall, and they take ownership of that, and those walls have never been graffitied after the kids do this. Simple, easy, but it's made a tremendous difference in the area where it's done, because the children who live there tell their friends, that's my handprint. Don't touch it. Don't wreck that beautiful thing that we've done. It makes a difference. Winnipeg Bloom is a front yard garden contest. When I started Take Pride Winnipeg, we were doing a garden contest, but it was in the backyard. And there's some beautiful gardens in backyards in our city, but nobody could see them. So we said, let's take this contest and move it to the front yard of everybody's property, and that will increase the curb appeal of the city. And so businesses and homes and schools and churches started to bring the gardens to the front. I'll show you some of the gardens. And they're not all that good, but they're good. This particular house won a contest for the best residential garden in Canada. And this woman has done an incredible job with her garden. But what a difference. And I heard somebody go, wow, when they saw this. What a difference to bring stuff to the front yard. Just like Project Front Yard, you want people to see how your community is working together to beautify, to clean, to educate, and to increase pride in your community. This is my pet, is murals. When I started, there was about 20 murals in the city of Winnipeg, mostly on underpasses. We now are the mural capital of Canada with over 500 murals in the city of Winnipeg. What we do is we go to public areas, we go to private businesses, and we go to business improvement zones. And we say, we'd like to put up a mural. The business owner helps to put up some of the costs. The business improvement zone puts up some of the costs. We get funding from foundations to put up the rest of the costs. And transform a building from dull gray or graffiti filled to these. This was done at a Manitoba telephone system building that was dull and gray and in a rougher area of the city, and we beautified that mural this year. This was done at a school, and the children helped to design this mural, and they are so proud of this mural. This mural was done on Corden Avenue in Winnipeg, and it was sort of a retrospective of what was in the neighborhood back then. You did traffic boxes here, and congratulations on the traffic boxes that you did yesterday. They look fabulous. These were painted on the traffic boxes in Winnipeg, and we have several of those that we've done over the years. And I love the fact that you're wrapping them, and I simply adore the barrels that you've got up front here. I think the kids did a fabulous job on that. This was a history of horse racing mural in Winnipeg. We've had 3 different tracks over the years. This was a mural done this year. It's very interesting. A man called Intrepid. Sir William Stevenson actually was a spy back in the war, World War II, and Ian Fleming based James Bond on Sir William Stevenson. Kind of cool. This was a mural done on an underpass of a bridge. Again, just really beautiful. Oh, where did I go now? This is an old hotel, and the hotel is right here still, and there's some of those windows are real, and every so often there's people hanging out the window waving at you. In the Olympics, we have an event called curling. I don't know if you ever curl down here. We don't know if you have ice. But our Winnipeg rink won the Olympic gold medal, so we did this mural this summer on a curling rink in Winnipeg with pictures of the team. They were so excited. This is a mosaic mural. If you ever come up to Winnipeg, we want you all to come up to Winnipeg. This mural took 2 years to do, and it's all mosaic tile. It's an absolutely incredible mural. And this mural was done again on an underpass, and it was our new zoo. We just opened an exhibit called Journey to Churchill with polar bears, and so we had this done up on the underpass near the zoo. And that used to be full of graffiti. It's never been touched. And the murals make a gigantic difference in beautifying the city. And you started with traffic boxes, and it would be great to see more murals and more public art, because they really do make a difference, and they make people proud to see the beauty. And it's just made a big difference. Brush Up Winnipeg is a program that we started. And what it is a program where we go to people's homes and homeowners who are either financially or physically unable to paint their homes, the outside of their homes, and their homes need some help. So we get teams to go out, and that's some of our sponsors. And what we do is these companies get their employees as a team building exercise to go out and paint a house. And we get about 20 to 25 employees per house. And we do about 9 or 10 houses a year. And I'll just quickly go through the map to show you that it's just not one area of the city. But we've done 70 houses over the last 10 years throughout Winnipeg. And I'll show you some of the before and afters. This house was done this past year. That's what it looks like today. Just a simple coat of paint, and maybe a flower box, painting the fence. Again, the before and afters, what a difference. This particular house here, this is the before, there's the after. And when the team was there, the neighbors came out. And one neighbor his lawn was a little high. And he saw what his neighbor was getting done to his house, so he said, you know what, I've got to beautify my property. So he went out and he mowed his lawn, and then he started planting some flowers in his yard. And it goes from person to person. And we were doing a house a couple of years ago, and one man walked by as the house was being painted, and he said, you know, that chimney needs some scoring. I said, well, we can't do that. These are volunteers, and they're just coming to paint the house. He says, no. He says, that's what I do for a living. I do that kind of work. He said, I don't know this person, but I'll come and do that for her. And he offered to do that for free. That was pretty amazing. This was a ramshackle house, so we thought we better clean it up a little bit. What a difference. And the people again in the neighborhood were like, wow, you've transformed that house. So these are homes that are owned by people who unfortunately may be older and cannot do the work themselves, or may be financially unable to do the work. And for a simple coat of paint and maybe a couple of bushes, we've transformed that house. And those people are in tears when they come out, because they don't see it until we finish. And they come outside and they just can't believe what we've done. So it makes a big difference. The key to what we do, though, is our education programs. Again, when I started Take Pride Winnipeg, there were 3 programs being done. And I worked with children all my life, and I saw the value of getting young people involved to tell us that we need to make a change, to tell us that we shouldn't be throwing our cigarette butts out the car window, to tell us that they want to live in a beautiful and clean world. So we have a number of education programs that we've developed. I'll go through them quickly. Take Pride, Take Action is a program where we put together a number of videos that we go to schools and show the students how they can make a difference. We have a great video that we show them, first of all, about brushing their teeth. And while the guy's brushing his teeth, the water's running, and the kids go, wait, the guy's left the water on. And then we show them an Animal Planet video about taking a shower, and it's an elephant taking a shower, not a real person. And they talk about how long a shower they take, and we tell them that if you take a 10-minute shower, you're using X number of liters of gallons of water, and so start taking shorter showers, and it's amazing how the kids get that message. And we talk about ways they can make a difference by doing little things every day, like picking up a piece of litter. And I say this as I go on radio and TV, if everybody in the city of Winnipeg, 750,000 people, stopped doing what they're doing, walked outside and picked up one piece of litter, that's 750,000 pieces of litter off the ground that day. It's a simple thing to do, but makes a huge difference. Our PAUSE program is a middle school program for grades 6, 7, 8 students to go out and make a difference in the community. They do that by singing at senior centers, by picking up litter, by removing graffiti, by painting a mural. And they really get excited about showing that they care about their community. We had a group of students that were going out to rake leaves in the fall. And it was around Halloween, and somebody in the neighborhood had raked his leaves and left the bags out, and some other children came and tore the bags. Because he was near that school, he thought the school children had done it. They were so upset that they thought they were the bad kids. 5 kids went out to his property, raked up all his leaves, bagged them all up again, and knocked on his door and said, we wanted to make sure your yard was clean. He was so happy, he ran in and he got some cookies for the kids and some milk, and he came to the school and he said, I want to apologize for blaming the kids. I can't believe they did that. Little things, big difference. Take Pride in Reading is a wonderful program where we go into schools and read to the students about how they can make a difference. We read in English and French, as we're a bilingual country. I was talking with Matt last night, and he was telling me how he's driven up and down near his home and picked up litter. And this book, The Wartville Wizard, is a great story that kids love, about a man who used to go up and down the street picking up litter and finally got fed up, and somehow he acquired the power over trash. And so when somebody threw a piece of trash on the ground, he could point at the trash and it would fly back and stick on the person's face. And when we get to the part where Mrs. Mabel Botts had a sack of trash stuck on her rear end, the kids just laugh so hard, and the picture is great, but they get the message that throwing trash on the ground is wrong. And I had a 5-year-old student, kindergarten student, who when we showed that book and we talked about how bad littering is, she put up her hand and she said, you know, for every action there is a consequence. And I said, I'm done. If you got that message from a 5-year-old. Easiest 1, 2, 3 is our newest program. This is a program where we thought we would get students to go out, pick up 3 pieces of litter a day, write down what they picked up, whether it was recyclable, and that they disposed of it properly. And the first year of the program, we had over 1,200 students get involved. So they did that every day for a month. They recorded what they picked up. And then we gave out classroom prizes, so they won trips to our zoo or to a baseball game or to a football game. And 2 students won grand prizes. And it worked out very nicely. We're doing it again this year. We've made the program a little easier because we know what they picked up. So now they just got to check off what they picked up instead of writing it down, because some of the kids' writing was hard to read. So we're making it a little easier to just have to check what they did this time. And so again, we're going to have some classroom prizes. And the winning student is going to get to go a plane ride with a parent up to Churchill, Manitoba, which is as far north as you can get in Manitoba, to go swim with beluga whales in the summer. So they're so excited about this program. But all the students get involved in the program, picking up 3 pieces of litter a day, and they understand that some of the litter they're picking up is recyclable, and they know the difference. So they really get excited about doing this program because they see again, and I'll say it again, how they're making a difference. And it's really neat. Bag Up Manitoba is a program that I started a few years ago. I was driving down the street and I saw a plastic bag floating across the road. So I wrote a book. It's called Timmy the Tumble Bag. About a plastic bag that escapes from the garbage, gets recycled and turned into a frisbee. And so we thought, let's get the schools to get the students to bring in plastic bags, and we will get them recycled and turn them into frisbees. So we did. And this is a recycled plastic bag frisbee. So what happened was, the program, oh, there we go, like that. The program grew and grew. And this past year, we had 171 schools across Manitoba, not just in Winnipeg, but across the entire province. And in the month of October, the students brought in 1,590,000 plastic bags. We got great partners in the city of Winnipeg. BFI, Waste Management, picked up all the bags from the schools. Outside the city, we had a trucking company called Gardwine that went to all the schools and picked up the bags. We then baled them and then took them over to Safeway store, which deals with a company called Trex here in Virginia. And we transformed those plastic bags into birdhouses, benches, and flower boxes for the schools. And every school got a flower box this year, and the top 14 schools got benches. And they absolutely love them. Here's the picture of a birdhouse made out of plastic bags and wood composite fiber and a bench. And the schools think it's a great program because it teaches the kids about recycling. It teaches them about reducing the amount of plastic. It teaches them about math skills because they have to count the bags. I'm not going to count the bags. There's no way I'm counting 1 million bags. So this is what it's all about, is getting the kids involved because they are the future. And they want to show us that they care about the environment, that they care about their city. I had 2 students who a couple of years ago were so excited about this program, they wanted to show me how they cared about the plastic bag program. And I think Nancy's here. Is she hiding? So they went out and made me this. They made me a suit out of 700 plastic bags. I didn't bring the pants down because they made me pants too. But this was 2 grade 7 students and their teacher who decided that they wanted to show how much they cared about what they were doing. You can go outside in 50 below weather in this thing and not be cold, let me tell you. Give Nancy a big hand. My kid said, why are you bringing down the suit, Dad? I said, because it's so cool. I showed it last year at the Keep America Beautiful conference, and it just blew people away. So, this is our mascot, Louis the Lion. A group of lions is a pride. And when we go to any school or any community, I always ask people to join our Pride Club. So I want you all to join the Project Front Yard Pride Club. Put up your right hands. Repeat after me. I promise to be proud of my community, to reduce, reuse, recycle, and respect, to clean my room, and be a good student. Now it's amazing at schools and here. When I say clean your room, people laugh. Kids put down their hands. They go, wait, I'm not doing that. But I say to them, it's all about attitude. It's all about starting in the middle. It's all about making a difference. So do this with me as I do it at schools. Go like this. Clean room, clean house, clean yard, clean street, clean neighborhood, clean city, clean state, clean country, and a clean world. That's what it's all about. I believe that what your community is doing is a great beginning. It's taken us from 1997, when I started, doing 3 programs to now doing 13 programs. It's not a 1-year deal. It's not a 2-year or 3-year deal. It's something that's going to be building here for a number of years, and you've got to do it to make your community a better place. I was at the recent Keep America Beautiful conference, and there's a gentleman called Peter Kayama who wrote a book called For the Love of Cities. And the key is we have to love where we live. We have to be passionate about making a difference in making our communities a place where we want to be proud to bring people. When I first came down here, I was blown away by how lovely an area this is. I did notice as I talked with Matt, some litter. And I noticed that we started talking about it, and he's excited to make a difference. And then I met with the mayor, who's excited to make a difference. And all of you here today are here because you want to help make a difference. And it starts with one person, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. And all of a sudden, the whole community is going to be working together to beautify, to clean, to educate, and to be proud. I really, really appreciate coming down here to talk to you today about how you can take these programs, bring them down to your city, bring them down to your community, because we'd love to share them with you. And more than happy to do anything I can to help make your community a better place. And I'll come back here every month if you have me, because I love it down here. It's so beautiful, and it's so warm. But I'm told I shouldn't come in July or August because it's too humid. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to me. And if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
We have a microphone if anybody, hang on, let me get to Nathan.
Great presentation. Thanks so much for sharing all these wonderful ideas. What I'm really interested in is how, lots of wonderful ideas, but great ideas don't happen unless somebody, essentially is investing a huge amount of their personal interest in this. Obviously, you were the driver behind this, but how did you build how did it happen as far as, was it just you? Did you have 10 people? How did you build up the coalition that now supports all these wonderful programs?
When I was working for 15 years for a financial company, Vice President of Marketing and Video Communications for a national company. And moved back to Winnipeg because our head office had moved to Toronto. And I saw the opportunity with Take Pride Winnipeg, and the organization was, the executive director had left, and the organization was just about dead. And they said, we're going to just try and find somebody who can rejuvenate this organization. So they hired me, and there was just myself and one other staff person. So with the two of us, we took a look at the organization. We have a board, and we sat down with the board and said, let's revamp things. And I saw the vision of doing more with what we had and increasing to get into the schools. And that was the key, is getting the schools. I now have 3 staff and myself, and doing 13 programs is unbelievable that I have a staff that is so dedicated and caring to help run these programs. I couldn't do it myself. But I develop programs and I get my staff to help run them. And the key is that the schools, because everything we do in the schools is free to the schools have bought into this, and they want us to come and help teach the kids. The teachers are teaching them things about recycling and reducing as we know, but to hear it from an outside source and to have Louis the Lion come in and to talk about all these things, the kids love it, the schools love it. So it's made a big difference, and it's taken a long time to get to where we are now, but it is working, and I just love the fact that we have so many people that are interested in helping to make a difference. You have so many people here today that have come out to make a difference, and so that's what it's all about.
Yeah, Tom, you talk about litter, you talk about the graffiti and all of that, but what about things like snipe signs? We, here in Lafayette, it seems like every time I drive down the road, 5 or 6 of them pop up. They multiply at night, and it's really frustrating because they'll stick them in the public, the public realm, where the public spaces, and it takes an inordinate amount of time to pick them up because they're illegal. So how do you guys address that at all in any of your programs?
Yes, we do. You're not allowed to have them and take them down quickly. Unfortunately, in Canada, there is I don't know, somebody went to the Supreme Court about putting up signs and got away with being able to do it, but you can take them down as soon as they put them up. So because we take them down as soon as you put them up, then there's less and less of them. And those kind of things make the city look bad. We have somebody who's just put up some stickers on some of our traffic areas, and they say Kush, which means marijuana. And anytime one of those goes up, they come down right away because we don't want them and they look bad. But it's the same with people that put up signs on the side of the road. We get them down as quick as they go up because it's just, they're illegal to put up, I believe. And so we take, if somebody puts them up, we take them down right away. You have to do that. One of the things I noticed was the amount of litter that comes from open trucks. And there's a lot of people that drive trucks down here, and a lot of people put stuff in the back, and they don't think it's litter because it just flew out the back, but it is litter. It's one of the 7 sources of litter. And people have to understand that if something falls out of the truck or they drop it out their car window, it's the same thing. And they should be fined for it. And they should be fined big time. We have a rule, we have a bylaw saying that if you litter, it's $250, and if it's a corporate person that's littering, if it's a business, it's a $500 fine. But I don't think anybody's ever being charged in the last couple of years. And I keep telling the city council, charge somebody and put it on the front page of the paper that person got charged $250 for littering. And maybe the next person won't litter. And again, it all takes one person at a time. I had a babysitter years ago, and we were driving somewhere with a friend of hers, and a friend of hers opened the window and was going to throw something out the window while we were driving. And my babysitter said, "Excuse me, don't you know who I work for? You can't throw that out the window." So she didn't. So it's good. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about funding, and if you get private funds, how do you make that ask to the private?
We get some of our funding from the city of Winnipeg and from BFI, which is our main waste management company. And we get that through tipping fees at the landfill. But the rest of our funding comes from businesses and foundations. We go out to ask them to help support us. So Tim Hortons, for an example, is a company that really cares about trying to make a difference. So they are our title sponsor for our Team Up to Cleanup, which is our name for our spring cleanup campaign. It's called Team Up to Cleanup. And so they give us around $20,000 cash, plus a lot of in-kind, to be the title sponsor of that program. And we take each program that we run to try and find sponsors for those programs, because some of the programs are education-based, and we used to deal with our Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries Corporation, and they would give us money for our Brush Up Winnipeg program. They could not give us money for our education programs because of liquor. So we said, okay, if you can't give us money for education programs, what can you give us money for? They said, well, we'll give you money for Brush Up Winnipeg and paint houses for people. Great, thank you, I'll take your money. So we have to go out and search for money all the time, and it's not an easy task, but you have to do what you got to do, and you raise money to tailor each program to how much money you can raise, and that's what we do.
We have time for one or two more questions.
Hey, Tom, thank you for being here. Share with us how Ducks Unlimited got you here.
I'm sorry?
Share with us how Ducks Unlimited got you here.
I was at a dinner in Winnipeg, and there was a number of auction items, and one of the auction items was to come down to Lafayette, Louisiana for 3 days of duck hunting and gator hunting and fishing. And my son is a hunter, and he just, I phoned him up and said, should I bid on this? And he said, you have to bid, you have to bid. So I said, okay, so I bid, and we won the right to come down. We drove down from Winnipeg, which is about a 25-hour drive, and came down with my son and a friend of his, and my son says it's one of the greatest trips he's ever been on in his life. Absolutely loved the hospitality of coming down here and meeting Matt and Jay Owen. We did it all. We did a tour of Avery Island. We did some gator hunting. We had some boudin. And did I say that right? How do you say it? Boudin. Oh, sorry. Okay. And it was good. And it was absolutely fantastic. And when I was sitting at dinner and talking with Matt, and we were talking about the fact that he was passionate about this, I said, this is great, I'd love to come back. And he said, well, I'm going to arrange for you to meet the mayor. And so I came back to Lafayette on my way to Florida and stopped in and sat down with the mayor and said, you tell me when to come back again, and I'll come and talk to people. And I've gone to Texas to speak at conferences before. I've gone to Keep America Beautiful conferences to speak there as well about this, because I'm very passionate in trying to make not just my community, but any community that wants to listen, to help them make a difference and help them beautify and clean their city and their community. So now it's my third time to Lafayette. I feel like an old timer here. I know all the streets now. I even found my way to Camellia to go and see a mural unveiling yesterday. And I didn't get lost, so it's good. I'm getting to be a Lafayettean. What do you call it? Thank you.
Any last question? All right.
Do you have any sort of legislation for private businesses to have recycling services on site? Or
To have what?
To have recycling and waste removal services on site, or is that completely
Yes.
voluntary?
No, it's not voluntary. And somebody told me that yesterday, that your recycling programs here are voluntary. Yes.
It's a residential program.
It should be mandatory. We had a program of recycling, and we had these small blue boxes that were open, and people would put out their recycling, and then stuff would fly out because it's windy. So the city said, you know what, we can't have this anymore. It actually is increasing the amount of litter out there. So we all, residents and businesses now, have 2 bins, one for garbage, one for recycling, and they're closed lids. It's reduced the litter dramatically. But it's amazing in the first year of the program with these new containers how much recycling is being done. I would say we've gone from 15% to 50%. And it's amazing the difference. And the less stuff going to the landfill, more stuff being recycled. And so it's a thing that should be done everywhere. And you should make it mandatory and say you've got to recycle. You need to just do little things. And if you do, you'll notice a big difference in the amount of litter out there. And the other thing is, I'm going to say, when you come down here, I've noticed guys in orange jumpsuits picking up the litter. Yes. And somebody said to me, well, then it's okay to litter because they're going to pick it up anyways. Same thing when you go to the movie theater. Well, the people are going to pick up our popcorn boxes afterwards. But no, it's up to us. It's up to us to go out every day and help make our community a better place. That's what we got to do. And that's what you're all here for. And I congratulate you for your beginnings. And I know it's going to be a long road, but I think that you guys are going to do it. So thank you.
I was standing back there listening to you and realized you talk funny. So I figured anybody that talks funny can be an honorary Cajun. And so with that, and I want to say, A. Did I get that right?
Did I say A?
No, I don't want to say A. I was trying to make you feel at home. You know, I mean anybody who likes Bodam, I mean I don't say A. So with that, I make an honorary Cajun. Thank you. Have a big round of applause.
All right, we have a few of you guys who aren't staying with us all day, so we're going to take about a 10-minute break. We're going to get the rest of our presentation set up. You guys can get a refresher on your coffee, and those of you that are leaving us after the breakfast can go, but we're excited for the next couple hours, so thanks so much.